we had a revision, and on second day we learned about Dart, a few concepts about Dart, and then we understood how to actually make a HTTP request from an API. And yesterday, like on the fourth day, we understood how to store your data into your local devices directories in form of a DB. Okay, so today we'll be understanding about state management and RxDart. But before we dive into this, actually, we have to learn about an important concept. It's called streams. Okay. Once you understand streams, these two things will be much easier to go with. Okay. So, like the name suggests, streams is something like this. Okay. You have to actually imprint this diagram inside your mind when we are talking about streams in Dart. Okay. So that's what we'll be discussing. So you can imagine stream is like a particular, a funnel. Okay. So let's say if you create a pipeline, okay, from here to Dubai, okay, it will be like thousands of kilometers from here, and now you fill that pipe with, millions of balls, okay, tennis balls. So now what's going to happen if I push one ball inside into that pipe from India, the other ball in the Dubai will come out of the pipe, right? So, and this will be an instant process. As soon as I enter it from here, as soon as there will be an ejection from that side, right? So this is a very instant process. Okay. If you're not able to imagine, then okay. What it was actually. Was in a scene. Okay, so let's say we have a pipe like this, okay, and we have this pipe laid down from India to Dubai or to USA. And as soon as I insert one ball from one side and from the other end, the other ball will come out. And this will happen instantly, okay. So you can, so when I push data inside this, I'll be syncing my balls inside this pipe, okay. And when the other ball comes out, that's called streaming, okay. I sync my data and I stream my data. That's what this diagram actually conveys. Okay, so I'm syncing something and I'm streaming something. I think you guys are not able to see my screen, right? Just a minute. I'm talking about these. Okay, these pipes, and we have these balls. And if I push one ball inside, the other ball will come out instantly. So whenever I push it inside, I'll say that I'm sinking this ball into this pipe, and when it will come out, has streamed out. Okay, I hope this point is clear to everyone. And this entire methodology, this entire this system, okay, what we call it a stream controller. Okay, so this is controlling our streams. We are syncing something and we are the when and we are streaming something out. So that's technically what we call stream controller. So stream controller is responsible for what's happening in our case. Okay, so in Dart also, when we are going to create streams, we'll first create a stream controller. Okay, so that stream controller will let us know what's happening and what are the available options we have. Okay, so when we deal with streams, we have this thing called subscription. Okay, so if you want to watch Netflix, you take a subscription of that. Okay, if you want to listen to Spotify, then you take Spotify subscription. Okay, similarly, if you want to listen to streams, you have to subscribe them. Okay, so stream will actually contain what? It will contain any kind of data. Okay, it can be a document snapshot which you're calling up from the Firestore or from your Firebase, right? It can be anything. If you're downloading a file, it can be downloaded in form of streams, and you can listen to them. Like what's the exact percentage of the download which has got completed. Okay, so stream just returns these kind of data. It will shoot you out in a periodic manner or in a asynchronous manner. It depends on the use case actually. So that's what streams provide us with. Okay, so stream is a very good concept because you can register your changes instantly. Okay, like I told you, if I insert a ball from that side, other ball will come out from the other side. So this will be an instant process. Similarly, Now, if I fill that same pipe with water, so if I even insert one drop from this side, the other drop will come out from that side. If I insert 1 liter, other end will stream out 1 liter. Okay. So this will happen in a instantaneous process. Okay. So if you're aware about Firebase and you have used Firebase and you're calling up some document, and so in that case you can use streams. Okay. So you can return your async document snapshots, and you can just read them. If it's not making any sense right now, don't worry. We'll discuss that in detail. Okay. So I will just okay. So we are inside our Dart pad. All right. Cool. So I'm talking about streams, right? And streams can contain like the broadcast receiver, relevant person, and yeah, yeah. Amanpreet, you can also streams can also be broadcasted so that you can have multiple listeners available. Okay. Yeah, Amanpreet, you're right. So I'll just proceed with writing my first program. Okay, this program, what this program will do, this will create number and shoot out numbers. Okay, so this will constantly give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right after every 1 second. Okay, and so that's what this stream will do. So for that, let's just import an important package called Dart Async. Okay, so this contains everything we need for experimentation with streams. Okay, and right after that, I'll create my main function. Okay, is it okay? Is my font size all right? Okay, let's see if I can increase more. Okay, cool. Before we move further, I want you all to know that Dartpad has an amazing feature that you can modify the DOM elements. What I mean by DOM elements is that you can experiment with Dart and HTML together. So for this, you have to actually create a new pad, okay, new Dart pad, and you click on OK, and then you click on Dart, and you switch on this switch of HTML, okay. So you'll do it. You'll be able to create this, okay. So now you have three options. One is Dart, second is HTML, third is CSS. So you can actually update the HTML content or the HTML elements from the Dart code, okay. Cool. So this is just for experimentation playground purposes. Okay, so I'll be just using it to let you know about some functionalities. Anyway, so let's just import async again. Okay, now we have a main function. Inside main function, you can see there's a final header query selector header. So when you call any element in case of JavaScript, you get document by ID, right? So if I go inside my HTML, I have this header. Inside this header, if I write something, let's say yes, and I run this, so you can just a minute. Yeah. So my string here actually is containing this text that is hello world. Okay. So I'll type here yes, and this is getting overridden by okay. So I'm getting yes. So what's happening currently is this element, this particular header has an ID of header. Okay. And inside my Dart code, I am creating a final variable, and then I'm using something called query selector. So query selector is a it comes in with this HTML import. Okay, particular package contains all these methods by which we can actually use them. Okay, so query selector will actually carry the ID which we define inside our HTML. So ID here is header, and then after this I can use this to actually write this out. I can type header.text equals to Yash. Okay, cool. So this is just a question mark. Let's say if I this is actually used to check for null values. If I remove this, it will work fine as well. But let's say if I don't enter any value, then the default value which I entered here, Yash, would have been shown. Okay, so that's the purpose of that. All right. So if I run this, then I'm able to see Yash. Okay. So this was about Dartpad. Now let's dive into streams. Okay. So like I said, I want to actually create a stream which will return me integers starting from 1 after every second. Okay, each second. So first of all, let's create a class. Okay, I will name it number creator. Okay, sorry. I'll name it number creator. Okay, now now I'll be using something called timer. So Dart has this inbuilt timer in itself. So the library which I'm using, async, it has timer already. Dart already has timer in it. So there's a I'll just go over to Dart documentation. So we have this timer class. Okay, so timer class gives us a lot of functionality. Okay, so I can actually try Dart timer periodic. Okay, so what this will do is this will allow me to actually deal with the duration. So I want my duration to be 1 second, and after 1 second, the stream will be returning a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Okay. So how to actually use this? I'll type timer.periodic, then I'll write my duration, and after it, I'll write a callback function. So a normal function. Okay. So let's try to use this. So I'll type timer dot periodic. Okay. Now periodic will allow me to type in the duration. I'll type duration. And what is the duration I want it to be? I want it to be 1 second. Okay. So I will type seconds 1. Is that clear? We created a timer dot periodic. Okay. Cool. And we want this entire thing to be happening inside a constructor function. Okay. So I will create a number creator, the same name, and I'll paste that. Okay. Is it making sense as of now? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we have this periodic, right? I'll just make this look better. Okay. So one thing we have duration, we have written it. Now the other thing we want to write is our function. Okay. So I'll come back and then write my function right here. So let's say I want my timer to be Tim. Okay. Let's call it T for short. And then inside this, I want to do something, right? So here I will actually try to write something inside this number creator. So here I'll write something. I actually want my count to be increased every after 1 second, right? So after 1 second, I want my count to be increased. But for that, I have to first define count. I have to define my number, right? So I will have to define this outside this. Okay. Now I will write int. Now let's keep it var count equals to 1, because we'll be starting our counting from 1. Okay. And I'll name this as var count equals to 1. All right. So this underscore is actually for keeping it private inside this class. Okay. Cool. Now I want to create something called controller. Okay. So we went inside this, we saw like, oh, what's a stream controller? So to create a stream controller, I have to first create a particular final or variable to this, right? So that I can use it and reuse it, right? So I will type final, and I will name it again controller, so that it's not open to other classes to be reused. Okay. Now what I will use is I will type stream controller. Now stream controller needs to have a particular type. Okay. So what kind of type will it be dealing with? So in our case, we have this variable, right? And the variable is number. So let's say we are dealing with integers. So I will type int. Okay. Cool. So now here we have defined our controller, and we have defined our count. Okay. Now I'll come back to this periodic function, and I will then now when I want my stream to start, I want to insert data into my stream. So what was the way to actually insert data? What do we call inserting data inside a stream? We call it syncing the data, right? We want to sync our data. So what I will do is I will call my data. I want my data to be synced. So I want my count to be synced inside my stream. So to operate my stream, I need to actually use stream controller, which I just created here. Okay. So I will just type controller. Okay. What I want to do is I want to sync my data. So the way to do that is sync.add. Okay. Sync.add. So add, instead of add, you have multiple methods available: add error, add stream. Okay. So I want to add what? I want to add my count. Okay. So here is my count. All right. Now, once the count has been added to this string, I want this count to get increased after every 1 second. Okay. So what I will do is I will type count plus plus. Is this fine? Okay. Okay, cool. So let me just, yeah, cool. Now I want this number creator, wherever it's ending. I want to write up my stream. Okay. Now, since everything is private to this class, I want this to be exposed for my entire Dart program, right? So for that, I will actually stream it out, and it's a stream of integer. Not an issue, Sachin. Okay. Now we want to get this stream. Okay. And I want to index my controller, and I want to stream it. So there are multiple methods available. Okay, so you can listen to all of them. So in my case, I just want my data to be streamed. Okay, I want my data to be outputted. Okay, so that's what I'll do. I'll type stream, and I'll be done. Okay, is it clear? So what we did is we imported these two files, and then we created this class. Inside this class, we created a constructor. Inside this constructor, we created a function. This function will actually allow us to uh, to increase our count after every 1 second. So for that, we used something called timeout.periodic, and the duration was 1 second. And then we had a callback function, and this function gets executed after 1 second. Okay. And what we are doing is we are syncing our data, and what data in this our case, it's our count. So we are syncing our count inside our stream using this string controller. Okay. After when it's done adding it, then we are going to increase the count by 1. Okay. That's what we are doing. So here we defined our count, here we defined our controller, and then we are exposing it as a string right here. Now, if you want to broadcast, then you can type just dot as a broadcast stream. Now this will be a broadcast, and you can listen to it. So streams are supposed to be listened. Okay. If you're not listening your stream, then it is being somewhere used into your application, right? So this can lead to memory leaks. Okay. So what memory leaks technically are, these are few of the exceptions which occur. Like you have data being propagated for no reason at all. Your system threads are getting occupied for keeping those streams alive. Okay. So you have to make sure that you cancel your stream once you are done using it. Okay. So we'll learn how to cancel that as well. So if you are streaming something, then you have to make sure that you have a listener, and if you don't have a listener, then you have to make sure that it needs to be exposed or disposed. Sorry. Okay. Cool. So we are done defining our stream. Now we are going to come inside our main function. Okay. Cool. Now we need to actually use that string. Okay. So I will create a variable final. Okay. I'll name this my stream. Okay. And what this stream will be of the number creator. Okay. Number creator is already shooting out a stream for us. So I'll just type it stream. Okay. Is this clear? Is this fine? Okay, now we have our stream. Now we want to subscribe this stream so that we can listen to it. Okay, you want to listen to Spotify music, then you have to first subscribe to Spotify, and then you can listen to it. So it's not a great analogy which I'm using here, but in case of streams, you absolutely have to first subscribe them, and then only you'll be able to listen to them. Okay, so I will create another something called subscription. Okay, you can name it anything you want. I want to be subscription. Okay, now I want to listen to my stream. So I'll simply type my stream dot listen. Okay, so now I'll be able to listen to my stream. Cool. Now inside this listen, I have very important things to do. Okay, first of all, let's just go to stream.listen and check the documentation for this. Okay, so listen method actually allows us to do what? It allows us to actually trigger like get the data. Okay, and we have multiple functions like on done, on error, cancel on error. Okay, so let's say if your stream runs into some errors, then you can type something here like, when I encounter an error, I want my stream to stop, or I want my stream to continue. So you can type things like this in this cancel on error, and it's kind of bool. Okay, so it will return a true or false value based upon the functioning of the stream. Okay, and you have on error, and cancel on error will cancel it, and on error you can write your function. On done will allow you to actually do the desirable things you want to do when your stream gets done. Okay, so likewise. So yeah, so I would like to first get my data. Okay, cool. So I will go to my Dart pad. Okay. And my data, let's say I'll call my data as data simply. Okay. And what I want to do after this is I want to print, right? I want to print my data. So let's say my data, or let's say my number, because I'll be getting numbers, right? So my number is $sign data. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so this was getting our data. So there are other functions as well, like on done. So I can write something if I want to write inside my on done. Okay. Similarly, I have on error. I can write desirable things I want to do inside my on error. So likewise. So is it fine? Cool. So now let's try to run this up. Okay. Let's see what happens. So now in this case, the console has shifted to this place, right? So you can see now I am able to print that particular data, and it's arriving right after 1 second. Okay. You can see number one, number two, and I wrote my things here. I'm printing my data, and the data is arriving from that stream, and I have subscribed to this stream, and I'm listening to this stream. Okay, is this clear? Like what we did and how we are listening to the stream. So this will go on, right? It is going to deliver to us after every 1 second. Is this clear? Okay, thank you so much, Sachin. And even if I don't want this, since I have a single listener, then also it's going to work well. Okay. So now I'd like to see let you all to see something. Like if I'll run again now, so what will happen to the stream? Just check it out. Okay. You can see now the previous stream is still alive, and a new stream has arrived. So you can see now I have two streams running up, and this is happening because I'm using this Dart pad. Okay, and I'm not like canceling my previous stream. Okay. So to actually avoid this on Dartpad, I'll have to reload my Dartpad for this, okay? So that all the memory which it's consuming and all the memory threads which is in the background are being used, they will get refreshed, okay? So I will just copy this, now reload this, okay? And I'll run this up. So now it's working fine, okay? So are we good? So now I'd like to discuss like where can you actually use streams, okay? How can you look at the data and where streams can be useful? So you might have seen those check boxes when you text boxes. So when you write your email address, they actually every character. Okay. Yeah. When we have multiple listeners, we can use broadcast. Also, you can use a single listener as well, but for that you have to actually create an instance somewhere. Okay. And then we want to listen the same stream multiple times. Yeah. Okay, so broadcast technically just allows you to give you multiple listeners, and even if your stream is not getting consumed, right? Then in that case, that stream will just roll out. Okay, and you have to absolutely make sure that your stream has a cancel event. Your subscription needs to end. Okay, I hope I'm somewhat near to your answer, Sachin. Okay, cool. Now, like I said, now I want to create a button here, and I want that button to actually cancel my string. So I will go to my HTML, okay, and I will create a new button. Okay, and I will give it an ID. Let's say button. Okay, and I will type here cancel my string. Okay, so I'll run here and I'll get a button right here. Okay, so you can see now I have a button here. So it's technically not doing anything as of now. Okay, cool. Now I want to do something is that I want to cancel my string. All right. So I will just go to my main function. Okay. So like I am calling this final header, I will call my button now. I'll name it button, and query selector for ID will be button itself. Okay. Cool. Now I want to do something on this button's on click. Okay. So I will type button dot on click. Okay. Yeah. Now, for on click, I actually want to listen to my stream, right? Then only I'll be able to actually cancel my stream. So for that, I'll have to actually listen to my stream. Okay, is it clear? Now, what I want to do is I want to cancel this string. Okay, so what's actually the on click for? But for listen, we already saw that listen will have a function. Okay, it will have a method which will just allow us to do the desirable thing. So in my case, let's call this an event. Okay, and inside the body I will write subscription. Okay, subscription dot cancel. Cool. So now this is not able to index right now because subscription is defined here, and I'm trying to use it on the upper side. So actually I'll have to write this entire code block below all of this, right? I can type it here. Okay, so I'll just simply paste it here. Cool. Now I will reload this page. Okay, now I'll open up my console here and I'll try to run this. So now I have my on click function ready and my stream is running fine, right? So now let's click on this button. Okay, now you can see now the stream has stopped. Why it has stopped? Because I have cancelled this stream. Okay, I created a button and inside on that button I wrote an on click function. Okay, and on that I called up my listen to listen to my stream, and then I created an event and inside that I cancelled that subscription. Okay, so I have different methods available as well. I have is paused, I have resume. Okay, so we can do that. Okay, so let's see subscription. Okay, cool. So this is what actually cancel is. Okay, I can use cancel. Okay. So now, actually, the objective was to let you know that, yeah, you can cancel, you can resume, you can pause. Okay. So, did we understand like how streams work, and how we can use them? Okay, cool. So, where actually are we using streams nowadays? When I talk about mobile application, where are we technically using it, right? So, you might have seen this famous animation text box. Yeah, you can see. I'll open this image in new tab. Okay. So as soon as I type something inside this email box, the eyes of this beer actually are moving with respect to that, right? So how is this technically happening? So what we are doing here is on every input, whenever I type some character, okay, I'm typing some character. For that change, the sprite that is our animated beer, we call it sprites, okay. So it's getting updated, it's changing its state, it's changing the motion of its eyes, it's changing the motion of its brows, okay, the motion of its expressions, okay. So this is a common example where we use streams. Similarly, if you're trying to type an email address, and you can see there is a red line appearing, or some error message appearing right below if you don't enter that @ symbol. So for for verifying whether the information user is entering is correct. So in that case also we can use streams. So we can use streams in form of getting user data into our forms, into our text fields, input text fields. So that's where we use streams, right? A few more example is when you're downloading a file, or when you're getting some data from the server side. So you can actually show the progress, okay, like what's currently happening. If you're using plugins like Firebase, so Firebase has different plugins which gives you this functionality by default. It gives you the entire percentage of data which has been downloaded. But when you will open into that plugin, when you will expand those plugins, you'll be able to see that inside them they are technically using streams. Okay. So yesterday we understood about futures. So we were getting some data, and then we were using Future Builder to actually get the data and publishing, like getting on our UI part. Okay. Similarly, for streams, we have stream builders. Okay. So in stream builder, you have to just pass on your stream, and then inside the builder, you can create your required widget. It can be a text widget, it can be a list view, depending upon what you want to create. Is it clear? So yeah, when you're doing email validations, it's very likewise. So if you want your changes to be, a little more volatile, so that volatility can be achieved using streams. Okay. So we are here. We have cancelled our stream. It's no longer running, right? Cool. Okay. So now let's try to create something similar like we create in our text boxes. Okay. Are you guys getting it? Okay. Cool. Now now we are going to create another application. Okay. We'll be using Dartpad for that also. Okay. So this time what I'm going to do, I will add a text box. Okay. And into the text box, I will type something, and I will check whether what I have typed is correct or not. Okay. So that's what I can do, or I can type, right? Okay. So I will come here. All right. So are you guys able to see like what's currently happening? We have HTML association with CSS, and these two are easily able to get updated from the Dart code. Okay, so this is happening because of the package which you're using called Dart HTML. It's allowing us to give this functionality by which we can modify the contents of the DOM, like the elements of our HTML page. Okay, so this is a very easy thing. Like Dart is very good at transpiling to JavaScript. So yeah. Okay. If someone has any questions or some doubt about themes. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's come to HTML. Now I want to get a input text field, right? So I will come here. I will create an input. Okay. And what I want to create this input against, I just want to create an input, right? So now I have this text box where I can write something. Okay, cool. Okay. So we are good for now. Instead of canceling this, I will write check. Okay, is this fine? Cool. Now I want to actually type something inside this text box, and I want to see whether that text which he or she or the person is entering is correct or not. So let's say I have our own secret word, and I just want my friends to actually enter that secret word and get inside the portal which I have built. Okay. So for that case, I will be using this kind of program, something like that. Okay. So let's just come here inside Dart code and remove all of this. Okay, cool. So I will just type import Dart HTML. Okay, import Dart sync. Okay. After that, what I want to do is I want to create a main function. Okay. Now inside this, I will query my input. Okay. I will query. I will call it, let's say, input field. Okay. So what will be typing query selector, and what will be the query for that? It will be okay. It will be simply input, right? So we can just simply type input. Okay, is this clear? Yeah, Varun, yeah, absolutely. So let's say you are developing, since now Flutter has good support for web application as well. So for that, you absolutely when you want to do something logical, okay, you want to do something based upon the logic, something based upon the conditions, or you want to update your UI based upon that. So absolutely, you can use this. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay. So now we have input field available. Now I want also the button and the query selector. Okay, we have given the ID to button, so I will just call it button. Okay, let's put this in. Okay, cool. Now I want to create my on-click function. Okay, I want to create my on-click function. So I will type button dot on click. Okay, dot okay. So what I want to do technically is I want to actually give a person some tries. Okay, so if I'm entering into the website or entering into my portal, I want my portal to have particular number of tries. So let's say if the person is entering 3 times, after 3 times he should get an error like the details you are entering are wrong and you cannot proceed further. Okay, getting my point? Okay, cool. So before we move further, I want to let you know about this onClick function. Okay, you can see this onClick function is already a kind of stream. Okay, so the Dart HTML contains streams. You might have used multiple plugins inside Flutter, and I don't know how many of you actually read the code inside those plugins. But when you're going to actually open a lot of plugins, they have uses of streams. Okay, so they always use stream under the hood. Okay, but you use them in form like you are not using it. So this entire management is happening on the plugin side, and you are just dealing with the code side. So that's a plus point for using plugins and packages in Flutter. Okay, but under the hood, most of the things are using streams. Okay, depending upon the type of plugin you have chosen. Okay, so similarly, this is an example where element stream is kind of stream which is used by this Dart HTML library, and we literally need not to import this because we already are dealing with a stream. Okay, we are dealing with the on-click event, and this on-click event is a kind of stream. Okay, is it fine? Cool. So we can actually comment this out for now, and if we find any issue, then we can absolutely uncomment it. Okay, cool. Now this on-click function is already a stream. So when I have a string, stream, I actually have a way to sync my data in, right? Okay, so I can sync my data. That's a good point. Now I want to sync my data inside this. So for this, I have a keyword called take. Okay, so in streams there's a thing called take, which allows you the amount of count. Okay, so let's say I want to take my input only 3 times. So I will type take 3. If I want to allow users to input the secret word or password 4 times, then I will type 4, right? So I will come to my Dartpad and I will type that I want to take input only 3 times. Okay, cool. Is it fine? Oh, now I have to define my secret word. So let's say in my case, the secret word is, let's say, Flutter. Okay. If the person enters Flutter, he will be allowed access to my portal. Okay. So before we do that, okay, we have this header, right? Let me type some meaningful text instead of Yash there. Okay. Equals yes, my secret word. Okay. Is it fine? What will be the issue here? I have to just enter this, right? Okay. Since we are writing this already. So on the button click, we want to take the input 3 times. Okay. Just a minute. I think you people cannot see my screen. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Is it fine? Yeah. So we want to take our input 3 times, and we will only take the input to be acceptable when the person enters value to be Flutter equals to Flutter, right? So I have this keyword in, I have this method in stream which allows us to get the input, and we can compare the input against the data we want to actually process it with. Okay, so I want it to be processed with the word Flutter. If the user enters the word Flutter correctly, then only I'll be allowed to do the furthermore tasks. Okay, so I'll be using this where keyword or where method. Okay, I'll be typing in where. Okay, now inside where, what where technically takes is it takes again a test function, and if it's true, then it will do the needful. Okay, so I will type here again. Let's call it event. Okay, and what I want to do, I want to actually execute something. I want to check for my input value. Okay, so if my input, I'm using arrow function here. Okay, since I want to actually assign it to just one thing to happen. Okay, so I want to check input dot value. Is it clear? What's the issue here? Okay, cool, not an issue. Input dot value. Okay, equals Flutter. Okay, then for this I want to listen. Okay, is it clear? Cool. I want to listen, and then inside listen I'll take it as what I want to listen. I want to listen for inputs, right? So I'll create another event function which will get triggered, and I will print if the person is doing it. Okay, if the person does it correct, then I will type allowed to our family. Okay, cool. Now we also have on done function here, like rest of the function which listen has. Okay, cool. So I can use on done. So on done will only be executed when the amount of takes, that is this tree, when they are done completed. Okay, when they are done totally consumed. All right. So inside this, it's not taking on done. Input undefined name input field. Okay, we have input field, right? Input field dot value. Okay. Now the getter value isn't defined for the type element. Okay. Cool. Expected an identifier button click. Cool. Header dot text is defined. Button on click is defined. Dot take 4. Where event is occurring and input field dot value must be equal to Flutter. Dot what's actually input field? Input. Okay, input element. Is it all clear as of now? Like what we are doing? Writer. Okay. So, what the issue we are getting expected an identifier? What kind of identifier are we looking for? Okay, we have a main function, we have an input field, we have button, header, we have text. Okay, we'll sort here. Okay, text. Then we need to have something called value here. Data input field value. What are the possible options? There should be something called value or something like that. Are you guys aware about that? Like whether it's value or what? It should be value, I'm sure. Value isn't defined in data importing libraries value. Correct name in the name of the function. Define value. Undefined all. Yeah, it's value. It's supposed to be value, but I'm not sure what's the issue. Yeah, Dharamveer, exactly. Hmm. The getter value is not defined for the type element. Why is it possible? Input field Flutter. Something called get value. Okay, let's see if this works or not. Okay. Anyways, let's come to the part where we'll be writing on done function. Okay. What we want to do under on done is that we want to actually print that you are wrong and you are not allowed further. You are not allowed in. Okay. Is it fine? Cool. Now let's try this out. Okay. Okay. I entered the wrong text and it's telling me that I'm not allowed in. Okay. I'll try some other text. Cool. Okay. So after 3 times, I won't be able to register anything, right? So I will just run this again. And this time, let's try with Flutter and open up the console. Okay, it's not still registering the changes. Actually, I'm not sure like why this input field of value is not working. It should work. Getter value, importing library value. Okay, input.text. Absolutely, yeah. So now let's try Flutter. Let's try to check this up. So still no response. Okay. After 3 times will be shown you are not allowed. Okay. So it works fine, but I'm not sure why it's not taking the value even after input or text. It's not taking it up. Okay, but this functionality like tap 1, 2, 3, it's working fine. Okay, so that's how we keep check on things, and this stream is getting, updated for every try, every take we take on this, right? So I hope it's clear now. Let me just check one more time. Query selector, username, query selector, input field, input. Okay, let me just try to give it an ID. Input element city. So is this clear, like what we try to achieve here and how we are working with strings or streams? So if you guys have any doubt, any questions, any more, because we'll be wrapping up this session today and we'll be discussing state management and RxDart tomorrow. So I wanted the session to be short about streams, so that tomorrow we'll be creating our first first application of the TV series application, and I'll be uploading a basic UI which you have to we'll have to clone it, and we'll be imploding the data. We'll be actually imploding the data we want to create. Okay. You guys have two options. First option is that I go and create the UI with yourself, which will be a long, like a time-consuming process. Second way is to actually upload the UI onto my GitHub, and you all can clone it, and then we will populate the data from the API into that UI. So, what do you people want to actually try? But confused about button click that you have implemented. Yeah, Amanpreet, actually the thing is I'm not able to actually index that input to actually the string. Okay, Amanpreet is saying first one. What about the rest of the people? Like what they want to actually try, like creating the UI, or I upload the UI and populate the data with the API. Anything can be done, like what you guys want to actually go with. Okay, Lailesh is saying second one, upload UI and populate data with API. Okay, okay, cool, cool then. All right. Okay, let me try just one more thing. Input dot value. So val actually will equal to input field. Oh, I'm still not able to get any of it. Okay, anyways, so that was about today. Can we try printing the value we get in the input field or text and see? Yeah, it's a good idea. Let's try this. Let's just rename this. And we will try input field dot text. Okay. So after 3 times, we'll be able to actually get what input.text is returning to us. Okay, so we are not able to actually get the value with text also. So it's not able to compare against anything. Yeah, Aman, please. Actually, I will upload the UI sketch so they'll be ready. No, I will actually upload the entire Dart UI, which you'll be importing into your computer systems, into your laptops, PCs. Okay, and then we'll be populating that UI so that we all are on the same page. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's still not working. What if I try to string? Will it make any difference? No, Jane. So I'll just figure it out and let's see why it's not working out. I think I forgot. Like previously, they used to had this dot value function which allowed you to actually get the value. You can enter some value in the text field and then tap the button sheet, and yeah, it's still not working, Sachin, in this case. So I will just test this out and let you all know by tomorrow or in the Discord server, like what was actually going wrong, because I'm not able to recall, because the only way to actually get the input is input.value. That's what I recall. Anyways, so tomorrow we'll be actually joining up and we will be trying again. Okay. Okay. Cool. So if you guys are okay with the second option, then we'll be proceeding with that only. So we have multiple user interfaces available, and if you guys are able to find some other ones, okay. Let's say if you go to GitHub, okay, you can search for TV app UI. Or movie UI, let's say, and you want this to be specific to Dart only. So yeah, there are multiple GitHub repos available, and you can just clone them and add them to your local machine, and you can just populate the data using the API. Okay, so like these are movie info. So like this, you can build a page like this: the secret life of pets. So we have an image which the API will be giving out. We have the tags. So tags actually are the genres of that particular movie or TV show, and the rating and the bio about that, the cast, the pictures of the cast. So we can try these all, right? I think this UI is okay for all, right? But it's an old one, like 4 years ago. So there will be a lot of issues when you are switching on the latest version of Flutter. So I will upload a tested one and I will post it in the Discord server. And yeah, so you all can clone that up and we'll be proceeding next. Okay. So yeah, this guy also built something similar and we can try this out. And those who want, they can study the API and try on their own. Okay. We'll be using TV Maze. All right. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining up. I wanted to keep this short because I do understand like 2 hours is such a long time. So yeah, we can look for the more duration afterwards. But as of now, I think it's fine. So yeah, I think streams is clear what streams are and how you can populate your data and how to cancel the streams, how to subscribe a stream, everything, right? Okay, so we have this data, right? So this was actually what we created, which was returning as the stream, the first one, the first program which we created. So we were getting data. Now you can see in this case, I am getting data 2, 4, 6, 8. Likewise, I'm only able to return even numbers. So how I'm making this possible is when I'm declaring my string into my number creator, I'm adding a where clause. Okay, so that where clause, what it's doing is it's returning me the exact data for only the condition where the integer I divided by 2 returns to me 0. Okay, so which means I want my even integers to be returned. Similarly, if you want to actually map your data to something else, then you can use this. Okay, so let's just comment this and uncomment this. So now what will happen is this string and this integer will be actually mapped to this against this data. So if I try to run this, now I'll be seeing two streams active. You can see data string 1, data 64, data string 2, data 3. Likewise. Okay, so that's how you map your stream. Okay, cool. So yeah, there are multiple things you can do. You can cancel on error. Let's say your stream is failing somewhere, then you can cancel it. So if I want to cancel, it will be true by default. But if you want to change it, then you can make it false. Okay. So this was what we were doing for canceling a subscription. So this is an important concept, and you will be seeing much more use cases for this. Okay. So yeah, I'd like to thank you all for being so patient and joining up. So we'll meet tomorrow with a brand new application in our mind, and we'll create this. So yeah, is it fine? Shall I leave? Shall you? Are you fine? Okay, Varun is asking during the working on a live project under deadline, when we are unable to find the right path or solution of that problem, and how can the stress be managed? Okay, so the best way to actually, when you're stuck into a live project and you're not able to find the right path, so the first and foremost thing and the obvious thing is to actually search for the solutions. Okay, but when you're unable to find solution, then you get demotivated, right? You turn into a stress howl. You get stressed a lot. So for that case, I think the best way is to actually gather a teammate around you who will be able to share your things with you. So like I have my personal friend, my friend Sajid. So me and him do pair programming. Okay, so what we technically do is we sit out, we solve the problems, and we reach to a particular conclusion. And if something is not moving and we are not able to move a problem in or out, so in that case, it's actually better to take a pause. Okay, because I have seen like I got stuck into several problems and I took a nap, and after taking a nap, I was able to actually figure out like what's technically happening. So yeah, also if you get stuck, the community is big enough. You have your Stack Overflow, you have these Discord servers. If you are stuck in something regarding Flutter, then you can just go to Discord Flutter. Okay. So the best advantage is Discord. Yeah, and Flutter Slack is also available. And there's one more thing called Gitter. I don't know how many of you are aware about this. So Gitter is a very good place. You get instant replies from people who are actually working with Flutter. Okay, the people who created Flutter. So there's an official Gitter available for that as well. So yeah, even I get stuck sometimes. So I just go to the Gitter of that particular community, and it's a very good community. You get replies instantly. So this is an active Flutter channel right now, and these many people are present here, and you can just check them out. Okay, so it works in direct integration with Git, and you can try this out. So yeah, getting stuck is normal. Obviously, when you're doing big things, getting stuck it just means that you have a scope to grow up, right? If you're not getting stuck, then you're not trying anything new. So it's good actually getting stuck and moving on. But make sure that you actually solve that problem sooner or later. And managing stress is very important. What I found technically with developers and the students who are in computer science field is that they don't take a proper sleep. And sleep is like one of the major reasons when you are not able to think correctly. Okay, sleeping is very important, and taking a good 6 to 7 hours sleep is very important. If you're not able to sleep, you don't have enough ions available into your neurons to communicate messages. Okay, so you just get slowed down there itself. Now you don't have any more scope to actually go up, right? Yeah, and make sure you drink like 3,000 ml of water every day, 3 liters at minimum. Like it should be minimum. 5 liters should be a good healthy lifestyle. So yeah, drink water, take proper sleep, and if you have issues with the eyes, then do wear glasses. Okay, because eyes are the only thing which are going to get you a job in this field. If your eyes are not right, then you cannot code that efficiently with you know. So your eyes have to be in perfect condition. So you make sure you avoid them with the 6 to 7 hour of sleep. Okay. Anyways, so if you have any issues, you can consider these communities. And if you are finding some issues with a particular plugin, then you can raise an issue into that repository of that plugin. So every plugin you see on a package directory, it has its own repository, own project maintained on GitHub or any other platform like GitLab. So you can just raise an issue if you are not able to understand anything. And the people at GitHub, they are not, they are very well-to-do person, well-to-do people. They don't, they are not like the people are there on Stack Overflow. So yeah, it's a good community. You can go with that. Stack Overflow actually is a very good place, and it's like a bible for any developer. But Stack Overflow has some, foundations. Like you cannot comment, you cannot answer something if you don't have enough reputation for that. Okay, so Stack Overflow is a good thing, but you should actually avoid asking stupid questions there, because we have many other places to ask stupid questions like this. This Flutter TechDrill is a very good place to actually ask stupid questions about concepts. Okay, so the person who stays stupid for the most of the time turns out to be intelligent for the rest of the life. Okay, so it's okay to be stupid. It's okay to ask normal and crazy questions. Or you can clone if not getting solution and make changes and use in your project. Yeah, we can do that as well, Amanpreet. But sometimes what happens is wherever you're taking your clone with, it has a particular license attached to that. Okay, so you have to make sure you don't tamper the license. It's someone's hard work. Okay, you should not tamper with that. Okay, cool. So yeah, whenever you are using a plugin, whenever you are asking questions, and if someone has been really helpful, so it's a very good thing to actually thank him in personal. So I was using this plugin in from the pub package directory. So that plugin was really helpful to me because I was able to a problem I was stuck in for like 2 to 3 days. So then I solved this problem, solved the problem using that plugin, and I found the creator of the plugin, and I actually went on Twitter to actually thank him, and he was delighted. So it's okay. It's very very important and very good practice to actually thank the people, to thank the person who actually helped you with that. Okay, it just makes his or her day and your day as well. Absolutely. So yeah, absolutely. So try to create pull request into random projects. If you see or find anything in case of Flutter, uh, let's say ball. Okay, I want to search ball entirely on GitHub. Okay, and I want my code to be subjected only in case of Dart. I just want results where the language uses Dart. Okay, so you can see this person has created something mobile airtime like something like this. You can just go over to this repository. You can clone this up, and if you find something to be improved, then you can create a pull request. Okay, by changing something like that. Like he has created this amazing slider, right? So you can try this out. You can go inside someone's repository, if you see scope of changes, then you should change them and you should contribute as much as you can, right? Because you have to start somewhere, and if you're not starting, then you're not even trying. Okay, so anything and everything is open to improvement. You just have to get the courage to start it. Okay. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining up, and we'll be meeting tomorrow with a brand new happening.